Alright, welcome back to Lightmatter. There was a new little news post for Lightmatter, and for a second I got excited thinking it was another update, but no, it was just, they published a little comic about Lux. Like a 4-panel thing or whatever, about Lux just running around in the, facility and avoiding shadows or whatever, and that's kind of it. Apparently, I don't think there was anything more to it than that. I really do hope there will be more updates to the game. As I've been saying, many people are complaining about the performance issue that I'm complaining about as well, and they're aware of it, but maybe they just don't know what's causing it and they don't know how to fix it. I don't know. But last time, speaking of Lux, we got the Schrodinger's cat achievement by pushing the vending machine button, but I can't do that now because I just loaded, and you have to go through the previous level entirely. So, this developer commentary got kind of cock-blocked a little bit. Let's listen to it now.
Yeah, so this puzzle, I remember actually this mechanic, the origin of it, where in like the first year of the project, we had this cool Lightbeam mechanic, but we didn't really have any puzzles for it. And we were
Solitaire.
going to a conference, and we needed as many puzzles as possible. We had a bunch of mechanics which are not in the game now, and like 1 or 2 puzzles for each of them. But we didn't really have any puzzles for
Exercise ball?
this Lightbeam mechanic. So I remember that, like in sort of a rush, I just made something really quick, like in 15 minutes, where it was like an obstacle course in a labyrinth with this light beam, and you would walk carefully until you all of a sudden see this obstacle, and like, oh, the beam is gonna break. Then you walk around that obstacle and like move through this obstacle course, and then we kind of saw, okay, there might be some potential with this mechanic, and I think that's kind of what this puzzle is building on. Like showing that the connections can be broken, and like that you have to walk around these obstacles. And luckily we were able to build on this mechanic and do even more puzzles, because that's only the first part of it, avoiding that the beams are broken.
Yeah, some of the other mechanics we tried out kind of failed.
Whoops.
Because it wasn't possible to build puzzles.
Yeah.
So yeah. And this is the first time the player encounters the light beam. So we kind of needed to make it simple. So the first time you go out with the you walk with the beam, it just connects to a mother right away, and then you kind of go through this obstacle course with it. So that kind of it lights you away when you walk with it. And we also introduce a second light beam, so the player knows that it's not just the mother that connects to light beams, it's also light beams to light beam, if you have a connection to the mother.
I see. So this, I might do this more when if there's something I want to talk about, for a second, okay, so there's been some developments in how I do this. First off, I was just trying to listen and keep everything in my head, and then try and comment on things afterwards. And then I brought out a fucking notepad and started writing down things when I was listening, and then talking about them after. But now, since we can't just pause the game and it just pauses the commentary, I might as well, if I have something to say, I'll just say them right now. But yeah, this is called a mother, apparently, and I guess that makes sense. And yeah, they had to show that, these could link up to each other and stuff. This is a very good puzzle for introducing this, what did they even call them? I don't even know. Photon connectors, maybe? No idea. But yeah, it's a good one, because it, just naturally shows you that, oh, it connects the light, and it lights up while you're holding it, and while you're not. Just when it's connected, it's lighting up an area around it, and then you have to walk around a corner, which breaks the light beam, and then you realize, oh, it needs line of sight. And, this is very good for a sort of tutorial puzzle for a new mechanic. So I like it a lot.
So yeah,
it should.
That said, when I get upstairs, I do remember I did some like kind of funky stuff. I can't really remember what I did, but we'll see when we get up there, I suppose.
Uses one thing at a time, this puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and for the sound of the Lightbeam, it's the idea was to make kind of an electrical, also with a hum sound for this for the Lightbeam.
Rubik's Cube.
And at first, we put in a lot of this static electric sound in it, but that made it really fatigue to listen to the Lightbeam all the time. So it ended up being mostly the low-pitched hum, and then when the Lightbeam is about to break, then it's both visually but also sound-wise you get the feedback that it seems like it's breaking because you hear this electric static sound that's breaking.
I would not have liked it if that sound, that's like when it's red, if that played all the time. If that's what they're talking about, I can definitely appreciate that they changed that, because that would have been kind of frustrating to listen to for extended periods of time.
The beam up. Yeah. And when you connect more than one Lightbeam, we kind of needed a change in the sound also. So
I have an idea.
The idea was to make overtones when second and third Lightbeams connect. Then we add overtones to the hum.
Maybe
sound,
not.
So you know that.
Ooh, maybe.
More than one.
No, I think I'm stuck.
Yeah. And also, I remember when we talked about visually how the beam would look. We always knew, because the explanation was that it should look really solid, almost like light has.
Speaking of, here's a lighter. This lighter, they were talking about, this is completely unrelated to this commentary, so sorry for interjecting in the middle of it, but they were saying that in event segments, they had a lighter as like a reference to something. And I didn't even see the lighter, but I saw it in editing. It actually was like on the floor. And it's just this kind of tiny thing. It's like hardly even distinguishable as a lighter unless you really look at it. And here it is again. So it wasn't even a one-time thing. And again, it's like, it's just a lighter, a plain lighter. So it's kind of weird to even call that a reference. I mean, I guess it is for them, but I don't think anyone could get a reference from just seeing a lighter. But I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing I noticed.
Become matter. So we knew that it would be pretty thick and very, very wide. And some of the references were, of course, the Kamehameha from Dragon Ball.
This light beam,
which we looked at for a long while, but kind of realized that we don't want it to look too magical and too crazy in that way. We want it to be a little more subtle, a little more sciencey. So we looked at, like, for instance, like Ghostbusters, and saw how
here.
Although the beams in Ghostbusters are really wobbly and crazy, crooked and all that, we went for that approach because then it looked unstable, and we like that idea because Lightmatter is a pretty new technology, and having it wobble around and be a little unstable we thought it fit, but we're not doing it as much as Ghostbusters. That thing wobbles like across the entire room. But and then we also, kind of a rule we had, I think it's a bit subconscious, but most of the light in our game is semi-realistic. It's you have volumetric lighting, and the light beam has like this blurry kind of look, glowy. Although like the most of the game has a toon look, and that's kind of the thing, that although we mix the cartoon look and the realistic look, because light is important in our game, so we emphasize it by making it look different. That's
an interesting point.
I think that's kind of subconsciously why we liked why we went for this look with the Lightbeam.
Oh, come on. The game crashed. Oh, boy. Am I even gonna listen to the remaining, 10 seconds of this? Surely they're not gonna say anything, incredibly profound in that. Maybe I should just get back in and get here, or, get to the next one. Oh, that's sad. Oh, well. They usually take a couple seconds at the end where they're just yeah, 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 and then it ends. I'm just gonna assume that they did that here too. That is very unfortunate. I should have just... Oh! And I'm here anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely not redoing that. Okay. Very weird. I don't know why the game has been crashing a lot more for me, if that's a me problem, or if it's in, the latest update or something. I mean, I guess it did crash, once in a while all the time, as far as I know, so I don't know. It's probably something wrong with my PC.
Yes,
oh,
so this is
what?
the second level.
I didn't even see that. Where was that? It is there, okay.
Yes, so this is the second
Beam
level
slingshot.
a puzzle using the...
This guy, Lasse, you need to fucking speak up, man. Holy crap. You are mumbling to shit. I'm sorry, but really, he specifically, compared to everyone else, is just really hard to hear and so quiet, and his track is just half the volume of everyone else. I try to fix it as much as I can in editing, but man, it's kind of frustrating to listen to, but I guess I'll just have to shut up and pay attention.
Portable Lightbeam after the tutorial that you just went through. And in this puzzle we really wanted to emphasize the connecting and breaking of the Lightbeam. So you have to move a lot around with the Lightbeam to connect it from different places. And also get the sense, or learn that you can place a Lightbeam in a certain position and then return to it later on, or
over there,
use the result of its placement later on in the puzzle. It's okay to leave the Lightbeam in places, and you have to at some points. So it is a lot of back and forth, at least for the first Lightbeam, where you have to place them in the correct spots to be able to first retrieve a moving platform, and then later on use that same moving platform to progress through the level and connect with whatever, or the Lightbeam that you placed earlier on.
Yeah, and where you have to leave the Lightbeam, I knew that this spot had to feel somehow special, and at that point in decorating levels I had landed on this recipe where we placed tiles, we placed things that matter and all the important objects, and that was about it, with making some sense of the levels. But this one I felt like it had to be something different, because the tiles were getting boring, and of course we wouldn't want players to get bored.
Ooh.
So I've decided that
you can stand there, sort of.
Middle section of a level, that is going to be a very, very big machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so big that I almost don't need to decorate the whole level.
Mm-hmm. It works.
Which machine?
Yeah, sort of.
In the middle there?
It had this tunnel thing in the middle that you had to go through, and I thought, yeah, why don't we make it amusement park style with a lot of lights and things happening that it's fun to go through, because we saw quite a lot of players went through it a few times.
Mm.
So I thought, lights, blinking stuff, what are they doing there? Maybe they're testing the light beams against something, but what could it be? And then eventually it landed to be all kinds of weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it landed to be.
Yep, and it's also one of the puzzles that 1.5 or 2 weeks before our final deadline, our publisher wrote back and found out that you could break the puzzle, or you could get stuck. Actually, you couldn't break it. You could end in the second part of half of the level without a light beam and without the opportunity to recall the moving platform to go back to the first part, and then you were stuck
with this part.
In a spotlight.
Whoa.
Actually. So I had to add another button and remove a light source and sort of that kind of stuff. And also, for these levels with moving platforms, moving on a
horizontal rail beneath the platform. First off, we didn't have any collision on the tracks themselves, so you couldn't walk on them. You would just fall through them.
These?
But it felt a bit off, and our publisher also
or those
found
tracks?
Out that felt that it felt a bit weird. So, I mean, we added collision, but then the new problem was that people could kind of slide. The very good players could slide on the tracks all the way to the end, and kind of break the puzzle in that sense. So we had to, kind of push the player off the tracks if they go onto the tracks.
It was.
I've been noticing that like things that you slide off of, you could kind of skate on a little bit or grind on. It's kind of a shame that they fixed that, because again, it's like when they fixed the whatever that puzzle was called, the one with the second time I found Lux, where you have to like go around a cube or a square thing and then go upstairs and then go around the square again. That one you could break by like pushing the button and then getting on the platform and getting to the end, and you just skipped like a little tiny part. And yeah, I just think it's kind of a shame that they're even touching things like that, because maybe in that one specific case it was almost more clear or more natural to try and do it that way than the intended way. But like, if something is just clearly not the way you're supposed to do it, but you can still do it that way or do it that way, I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's fun. Just leaving optional routes and leaving like speedrun strats is not a bad thing in a game. You kind of, in my opinion, you should embrace that. You shouldn't patch out like tricks that most normal players that play like casually wouldn't experience, but people who know about it and people who try to break the game and find these strategies can then make use of them to skip intended portions and stuff. Assuming it doesn't like break anything or get them stuck. If it does, then yeah, you could fix that. But like, yeah, I think it's kind of an unfortunate mentality. I'm not sure exactly if that is their mentality or not, but it kind of feels like it. And yeah, bit of a shame. Not what I personally like to see.
Like, you could parkour through it a bit.
Yeah.
And it was challenging to design the rails in that way that they didn't look like you could parkour on them.
Yeah, and simply, like some puzzles, we simply didn't have the room above the tracks or above the moving platform to like have a hanging platform in wires or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
or if we had wires, then they would cast some shadows, so we had to put the tracks underneath the platforms.
Yeah, and it actually proved that quite a challenge in a lot of levels.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, nothing else I have to remark on that. I said what I wanted. Just kind of an unfortunate mentality in my opinion. Oh, didn't actually mean to fall down. Whoa! What? Why am I here now? God damn it, game. Why do you keep like... Oh no, I'm not. Okay, I'm right here. I thought it like put me forward again. I feel like sometimes it just does that. Just places you like ahead of where you're really supposed to be. Can I clonk this one? I think I can. Okay. I think I can, but it's a bit stuck. Yeah, I don't think I can get this out, really. I'm just gonna die. What is that thing? This one. Don't kick that. I can't think of it being anything except a trash can, but I don't know. Cupcakes? What is that? Oh, just like a cupcake with whipped cream. Burger again? I'm still clicking burgers, hoping that one of them is gonna do something, and a duck again. A lot of little tiny details in this room. Just like random objects on the tables and stuff. And nothing up here. Alright. Whoa! Whoa, this one is long. Okay, I can say right away that I'm not listening to this entire thing today. I'll have to cut it off part way, but oh, and Clive, writer. I don't think we've heard Clive before. Maybe he'll introduce himself. But yeah, we'll listen a little bit to this.
Hi there, my name's Clive.
There you go.
I was brought in as a writer for
Still very quiet though.
Lightmatter, and I came in because I was tasked with punching up the dialogue a little bit, and they showed me some lines. They said, okay, this is the way this path we're going through, and I gave them some suggestions, and they really liked it. I think like the one thing that actually got me the job was the line like they call focus groups called it heavy and clunky. I called it weak and stupid.
Yep.
And like and from then on, me and Benjamin just started working together. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was a really stressful time when you came in.
I can hardly hear anything.
The whole
It's so
story
quiet.
was there, and all the beats were there, and like all the mandatory lines were written, but we just needed to punch it up, but we also needed all the idle lines, what we call in-betweeners. The lines where you spend more time in the puzzle.
Yeah.
We had none of that when you came in, and
Those are fun.
that was like, I think it was like a month and a half until we had to go record in the studio.
Yeah.
Where initially we wanted to record all of the dialogue.
Yeah.
In that session.
And it was like really, really stressful because like the in-betweeners, as we called it, right? We were tasked to write those things when the rooms weren't really decorated for it either. And I just remember like at some points, I think was it like Doom Room or the one before that?
Doom Room, yeah.
Like we're just like
Doom
hammering
Room?
our heads, like like there came up with like 6 or 7 different lines for like a door opening and closing, which was
That one was a bit easier because we knew there's doors. We do something with doors.
yeah.
But then there was like that said, people listening to this don't know the names of the levels.
That's not
I
what
see.
you do.
Okay.
But
Level-
the decorations weren't that far in all levels at that point.
No.
And also because some levels were still being iterated on puzzle-wise. But the reason why we did, we wanted to write for everything at that point was the initial plan was actually to record everything there because our release deadline was much earlier than it ended up being. So we thought that was our only time in the studio.
Yeah, that's true.
But we ended up going into the studio like 3 more times.
And it shows. Like I feel as though like that was the right call actually.
Yeah, we've gone through so many iterations.
Yeah, and like speaking of which, like I think was it like 3 months before release or something, we got the aim assist review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mock review that our publisher arranged to see what kind of something you do to see what kind of rating you should expect. Like reviewers will give the game.
Yeah.
When it comes out.
And we got like a bit trashed on the story by them, which was like I can tell you like as a writer, it was like after that because we were tasked to rewrite the script because of course we want to make it nicer and better, right? And after that, personally, my writing went down because I tried to be funny when writing instead of having fun, and that was a process me and Benjamin had. We just wanted to have fun with each other.
Yeah. I remember right when you came in, it was just about making each other laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, but
wait,
I think we
did I-
managed the mock review. We really pushed.
I don't know if I
through it. It
hit
was
that
probably
trigger.
the roughest time writing this because
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I've listened to 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm gonna just cut this off here, and I'm gonna retry without the dev commentary. We're gonna just get here, find this Lux position again, and then I'm gonna reset yet again next time. Yeah. I think that's gonna be better. Just doing Lux now, and then I'll continue solving the puzzle while we listen to this 14-minute long talk. So let's do that. Sorry, coming through.
The core. No matter how many
I'd like to
times
point
we
out,
see
if I
it,
don't
it
touch
means
this, I mean, you won't even hear a difference because I'm changing things in editing, but this talk that Virgil is doing now is 3 times as loud to me than the dev commentary. And this is like 60% of the volume. And oh man, I just really can't stress that enough. I really wish they would just bump up everything in the dev commentary. Just like make it, what the hell? Make it way, way louder, just overall across the board. But especially just the consistency. It's weird that like some of them are just really quiet, while others are actually like pretty decently mixed. It's very strange to me.
Others will stand on my shoulders and see further than they have ever before. That will be my legacy. We will fix the side effects.
Hopefully I can get to Lux before he starts talking again.
Let us ignore
God damn it.
the breaks for now. Imagine at the center of a city, a core providing sustainable and renewable energy to millions. That is the future we are striving for.
Don't talk again, don't talk again, don't talk again, don't talk again. Okay, there we go.
Lux looks up to me. Every day I see him acting more like me. His independence, his disregard for established convention. I even built a metal paw for him to make him look more like me.
What?
He didn't accept the gift.
Oh.
I wouldn't have either.
But he's not missing a paw, is he? I don't know if we've seen that. Lux only has one model, right? Like, it's only been this Lux on all the things. It's never been, like, a different stance or whatever, I don't think. But yeah, I just wanted to test, like, you don't actually click on Lux. It's just, I was, like, looking over here, but it's just when you get in a certain proximity, the Lux cutscene starts. Yeah, let's just quickly check the rest of this, I guess. Why is that getting cut off? Why would that be getting cut off? There's windows. That's strange. Alright, well, whatever then. I'm just gonna leave it here. Can I just go back? Is that possible? No, I can't. Damn. Alright, so I'm gonna have to restart and then listen to 3 minutes and 40 seconds of that log before next time. I'll do that. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye!